Today I'm going to talk to you about simplifying radicals. Now this is something that we use all the way from pre-algebra into calculus, so it's actually a really important concept. So I'm going to start off by explaining most students know how to simplify like the square roots of 9 and perfect square roots, but they don't really understand why. So let's just start off with something most students know because they memorize that the square root of 9 is 3. So they memorize it, but they don't really know why. So I want to explain to you the reason. When we look at a square root, I kind of explain this to students like a square root is like a house. And in my house there are children, and children always like to go out and play. Now, 9 breaks down into 3 times 3, so I call those children. Now, the only way that children can get out of the house, though, is that they have to have a buddy. And so these 3s have a buddy. They buddy up, kind of lock arms, and they skip out of the house, and that's why it equals 3. Now, let's take that idea into something that's not a perfect square root. So let's take it into something like the square root of 12. Okay, so that's not something that students memorize, so we're going to factor 12, and it doesn't matter if you say 4 times 3 or 2 times 6, that doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and just say 4 times 3, and if it can continue to break down, remember, we're just looking for buddies. So 3 can't go any further, but 4 can, and when I factor that down, I see, I have a pair of buddies. They buddy up, they lock out of the house, and they skip out. They become a 2. They're free, but this 3 is still trapped in the house. Sad day for him, but that's what the answer is. Now, let's take it a little bit further in just this really quick little snippet I have to teach you for a second and show you that we can extend this idea into a house, maybe like a cube root house. Let's say I'm simplifying the cube root of 40. Now, a cube root house would need 3 buddies in order to come out of the house. So if I factor down 40, again, it doesn't matter how you would factor 40. I'm going to break 4 down, and I'm going to break 10 down. Now, it's a cube root house. I need 3 of something to come out, and I have 3 2s. They lock arms. They skip out of the house free as a bird, but in the house is left of 5. So that's just kind of the basic idea. I could expound that much further, use it in many, many ways in math, but that's just kind of a basic idea of simplifying radicals. I like to call it a house. My house has children. Children like to go out and play, but there has to be rules, and they can't go out and play unless they have buddies.